Another magnificent sunrise in Jamaica. Share. So let me show you what I'm looking at aside from my screen. Isn't this wonderful? And the best part about it is there are hardly anyone out here. This sunrise, well, not this one. Sunrise for me in itself is therapy. But coupled with the water and the empty beach, it is awesome. Totally awesome. My goodness. So I didn't want to be selfish and keep it to myself. even though I shared yesterday. But I feel like each one looks differently. Whew. God's creation, y'all. God's creation. I'm back to walking back and forth. And after I got my 3 miles in, yesterday, turn it back. There it goes. Yesterday, after I got my 3 miles in, we did, oh no, I didn't get fully 3 miles. I stopped around 2 because we went to across the street, just like I did the day before, to do what they call a power walk, but it's not a power walk. It's worse than that because it's uphill. But unfortunately, the trainer did not make it here on time because he was stuck in traffic in Montego Bay, like in the city. Apparently there was an accident. So since I had gathered my troops, so basically most of those in the community who had interest, since I had gathered most of them to join us at 7 o'clock, I figured, you know what the heck, let's just go. And that was me hoping that I remember the way, because it was me and another girl that went the day before. And I remember the way, kind of. Like we had to ask. Well, we didn't have to. We didn't have to ask anything. So me and Janelle, the other lady, we kind of like made 2 wrong turns, but they weren't bad because it's not like we went deep into the forest and had to find our way back. We saw that it was not the right way, and we turned around. So once I was convinced that we were on the right track, I was walking with assurance. I was assured that I was going the right way because guess what? I had faith. But some of the men in the group, mainly our mentor, wasn't so sure. And he kept questioning. I'm like, dude, calm down. Because I was like, we should turn back. Now, mind you, 3-mile walk. So my thing is, after you pass what would have been 1.5 miles, turning back, if you turn back at 2 miles, then you're doing 4 miles, as far as I'm concerned. And so we kept going. And thankfully, there were some things that I saw that I remembered, namely some beautiful villas along the way. And we kept going. And even that, they weren't convinced, and even, not they, him. And even when we got to a place where we were able to look out, morning! When we got to a place where we were able to look out, morning, Sterling! When we got to a place where we were able to look out, well, look over, over yonder. My Lord. Hold on. Water came.
Time 19 minutes 50 seconds. Total distance 1.0 miles. Split pace 19 minutes 50 seconds per mile.
Anyway, and once we got to a place where we were able to look over yonder. I'm like, there goes the hotel, and they were still not convinced. He was still not convinced. So we kept walking, and we saw a golf cart. So I decided to stop so that they can ask. And he was like, yeah, man, just go on, that's a blah, 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 right? So I ain't say told you so initially, like right away, but I did. And I was like, you have no faith. And then again, towards the end, he saw another person and he asked again. I said, why do you men doubt us women? No, it's not doubt. It's not doubt. If I have my GPS, my map, what? Oh, look at that. Look at that. Let me show you what I'm seeing. That's wonderful. But anyway, we did it. We managed to make it down. And what happened was the day before, I couldn't remember the way to begin our journey. So we decided to go the reverse. And it worked. Because I kept trying to tell them that it's kind of like a loop. So there's no way that we would not be able to be successful in finding. And so we're going again today. But by doing it the reverse, then I was able to determine, this is where we're supposed to, start. So some of us, well, I think most of us who went yesterday are going again today. And those who were not able to join us yesterday will be coming today. It was funny though, because two ladies that are, I think they're here. I mean, I know at least one of them actually reside here. I'm not certain about her friend. But we started up the hill, and there was a short one and a tall one, and the short one was very spunky. And I told them from the beginning, I told her, I think she wasn't here the day before. She heard it walk, so she decided that she wanted to join. And she set off, and she was right up front with us ladies. And at some point, the fellas who were a little distance behind said, wait, this lady said that she can't make it. But I told them, I made certain to let them know that it was hilly, because it is hilly and it's not for the weak, that's for certain. Because some of the hills were actually very steep. So anyway, we were going, and we weren't even, I think we were probably ascending the first hill. And it wasn't even a hill, it was just like a kind of a climb. And when they told us that she didn't want to go, I just stood there like, it ain't my problem, is what I thought. I didn't say that out loud, but that's what I thought. And her friend, the one that she came with, she kissed her teeth, and she was like, I told her, that basically she said that she told her that it was, not in these words, but she told her that it wouldn't be a good idea because it's a lot of walking, because apparently, like, the friend isn't a walker. This other lady is a walker. She's very fit. So anyway, my lady turned around. She kissed her teeth. She turned around and she said, that's her problem. I'm going. And she sure did. She basically walked ahead of us. So she didn't care about the fact that her friend decided that she didn't want to go. Because she wasn't going to have her stop her fun. And my thing is, who am I to think differently? I don't even know that lady came from a can of paint. So she ain't care. I didn't care either. I really didn't. So unfortunately, one of our team members, who was actually, I think she was working with the fellas. I think the lady from our group that turned back was actually working with the fellas. So she decided to go back with her. She better than me. Call me selfish, don't care. Because I just feel as if, like, we all know our limitations and we should honor them and not try to do more than, right? With me, I do my best to pay close enough attention so that I can know how I got here, so that I can know how the hell I get out of that. Because I think her argument was like she didn't know where to go. Now there's a path, because they have like the golf course. It's on a golf course, and I said to myself, well, before the other lady volunteered, I said to myself, well, somebody will see her along the way. But the lady was telling me last night that she felt bad for her, and as a female, she kind of understood how she felt. Her thing was like she didn't want, she knew that the lady would have felt, I guess, like uncomfortable, not, being out there in the wild or whatever. She didn't say the wild. I added the wild. Not knowing what to expect and blah blah blah. Then he shouldn't have come. Because that's one of the things that we asked the trainer the day before. I wasn't there when he questioned Janelle, the person that was actually going on this walk. And I only went because it was only Janelle. The first question I asked her, well, how many people are there? And she said, oh, it's just me. And I was like, okay, I'll come. So I cut my wonderful walk. And she said that he asked her, do you have good knees? Are you fit? And all these things, because he knows what's ahead. So I made certain to tell them. I think I asked my group, I said, y'all got good knees? Since that's the question that was asked of Janelle, they thought that I was asking it for my own personal information. I was like, no, that's the question that was asked of Janelle yesterday when she came down. Anyway, I did make certain to let them know that it's very hilly. Like, even if it was only like 2 inclines, I'm gonna say like it's hilly, not to discourage them from wanting to go, but just to set intentions, because I didn't want anybody to come and say, my God, Antonia, you did let us know. I made certain. And because we went the reverse, it was actually not as intense as it was the day before. When I tell you that listen, I mean, I powered through, because for me, like, the only reason why I went, actually, I didn't care whether or not it was Janelle by herself. But when they said hills, I was like, ooh, I need to work on my legs. On my legs. So that's why I went. So, and it was crazy because the lady that came with us, she was like, these aren't hills. And she was telling us that she lives in St. Thomas. And, she does hills. And so that's why I said to the other ladies in the group is that those of us who are familiar with country life, we know hills, right? That's why I was able to say these are hills. So, yeah. Somebody asked her, what do you think your friend's gonna say? And she's like, I don't care. She didn't care. So if she didn't care, watch that care. I felt badly though that our, one of the ladies from our group had to miss it, but she said she'll come today, so should be good. The trainer does not work on Saturday, so I don't think that it's a part of their events lineup today. So I'm thinking that it will only be our little crew. But yeah, so that was yesterday morning. And then after that, we had our breakfast, which was the first one for the group. Because most everyone, well, the rest of the team, because I arrived on Tuesday, some came on Wednesday, and the rest came on Thursday. So yesterday was our first group breakfast, which was cool. But yeah, today's looking quite nice so far in the sky. And I am planning, I think we're going to actually, gather today for our formal And I decided that it would be best if we do it outside, preferably be on a beach or at least near the beach, so that I'm not inside, not paying attention, because I'd be too busy wondering how much longer, because I want to go to the beach. So yeah, today we're doing our thing, and then most of them head back to their respective homes in the States tomorrow, and I still have yet a few days. Anyway, I am going to continue this walk of mine, or stroll rather. I got a headache. I woke up with a headache, and I think it's because I chose to go and hang out with a few of the people from my community at the bar. And I decided, even though I already had my tea, I had my tea and I was perfectly fine and ready for bed. But then I asked the lady, a bartender, if she could make me this virgin drink, or a virgin, what am I trying to say? I don't know the word I'm trying to find, but I wanted the version version of a particular drink. And she said she couldn't do it. And I said, tell me why. And she said, because one of the ingredients is, it already includes the alcohol. And I said, okay. So the name of the drink, I'm not sure like if it's a island-wide drink or if it's something that they do here, but it's called the Bob Marley. And I'm a weirdo, as you know. So I geeked out the day before when the group, some of us were walking over to the beach, and they stopped at one of the bars to get a drink. And I saw a gentleman with this cool looking drink. It was red, green, and gold, well, yellow. And I was like, oh my God, that's so cute. I think real drinkers would never do that. Real drinkers never geek out of the way the drink looks. But I'm not a real drinker. I'm a real drinker of water. So I asked the bartender, may I please have the virgin version of this Bob Marley? And he was like, no, miss, it's impossible. Now, some of these locals, I don't think they can't really, because I guess like when I'm with a group of Americans, they automatically assume that I am Americano. And so I just allow them to think what they want to think. And so he was like, it's not impossible. It's not possible. And I'm thinking to myself, you are so silly, young man. There is nothing such as impossible. There is always a way. So he was insisting like, it's impossible. And I'm not one to argue with people. So I said, okay. I just know that the bartenders that I'm familiar with that's here on this island made everything possible. Because the name of the game is to basically do as your guests or the guests ask, so that you can maybe get a tip. Maybe. So I was like, you know what? Anyway, so I really didn't care. And the ones that he made for the people in my group were pissed. The guys were pissed off because they were like, he messed it up. Because what I loved about it was the appearance. It was like a layer of red, a layer of green, a layer of yellow. And on the bottom you saw the liquor, right? So I'm thinking, I want that minus that liquid at the bottom. The liquor was poured in at the end, so that it basically settled at the bottom. So by me standing there and watching what he was doing, it was really a slush. That's all it was. It was really like slushy. So I'm thinking, why the hell you can't put the three colors in a glass? But what he did not do effectively or successfully, what he ain't do was let me know that one of the colors, I think it was the green one, already has alcohol. So what I would have done was ask him to, okay, omit that color. Duh. Anyway, he was over there jibber jabbering with his colleague and talking about me. That may try to tell her. So basically saying, that's what I try to tell her, but whatever. I'm ad-libbing because he was speaking in patois, but he was speaking lowly. And if I was in the mood, I would basically just broke it out my patois out of my back pocket and tell him, say, this here you look at idiot. You look at idiot boy. Don't tell me say nothing that is impossible. But I say, you know what? Let me let him live because he really didn't want to tip on that day. Anyway, back to last night. We're at the bar, and I said to the reason why the guys said that the guy messed it up, he was to stir and mix it up. So instead of it having 3 colors, it just looked like vomit in a glass. Sorry. It did. So the guys were like pissed, like, he messed it up. So anyway, while at the bar last night, I said to the lady, may I please have a virgin Bob Marley? And she laughed and she said, no man, can't do that. And I said, can you please tell me why? So she said, because green one has alcohol. And I said, okay, can I please get a baby Bob? And she laughed and she's like, all right, I'm gonna do something for you. So I said, thanks. I don't remember if I said baby Bob or a Bob and a half, or a half Bob. That's what I said. I said, can I have a half Bob? And she said, okay, let me do something for you. And she ended up calling it a Ziggy. So basically, instead of a Bob Marley, she made me a Ziggy Marley. And what the kind lady, who obviously is trained on how, well, I guess that's why she's in the top bar, trained on how to interact with guests. And I don't know what the right word is, but because I don't know if I believe in the customer's always right, but I'll kind of give them as close to what it is that they're asking for, right? So what she made for me, and I think if I remember, I'm gonna, I can't attach it to the end of this because this is a live. So what I'll do if I remember is just post it, right? I'm gonna post my Ziggy drink. And what she did was she did red, and in the middle white, and on top yellow. And when that lady put my glass down, I remember the white was in the middle, but I can't remember which one was on top or bottom. So you'll see. When she was finished, I was like, she placed it down with a cherry on top. With a cherry on top. When she finished, I was like, oh my God, it's so cute. Again, no one at the bar would ever behave that way, but I'm not a bar girl, so sue me. But it was so damn cute. Another thing that real drinkers don't do is take pictures of their drink, unless they're doing it for social media purposes. I do it just to have it in my phone, because as y'all know, I don't post nothing. Everybody's getting annoyed with me because I'm sitting here showing off my pictures, all my beautiful pictures, being me with a horse, me just having a good old time. And they're like, you're not posting? I haven't posted anything since I got here. Every day I tell myself, I'm gonna try. A try is a comfort for, no, a trial is a failure. I don't remember. I can't remember, I'm walking. But I haven't. Last night somebody was like, gosh, even just post them as stories. And I was like, all right, I haven't. But anyway, back to the song. There's someone walking down there in the distance. Anyway.
Time 39 minutes 44 seconds. Total distance 2.0 miles. Split pace 19 minutes 53 seconds per mile.
So because I'm walking alone today at a faster pace, let me see if I can get my 3 miles. The day before I got my 3 miles in before we went up the hill. No, I didn't. Did I? No. I was at 2 before I left. But anyway, what's my train of thought? Right. So I haven't posted anything. I will. I'm gonna try. I will. And eventually, look at how pretty that is. Look at me. Hi, me. See my shot right there? My shadow, me and my shadow. Anyway, so yes, I was very happy for my drink. I think it gave me a hangover because I woke up with a massive headache. But anyway, I was happy. She was happy. The folks in my group were happy because they saw me happy and laughing like a flipping little kid at Christmas. And so I was happy to tip that wonderful lady who demonstrated that nothing is impossible and everything can be done if we set our mind to it, right? Because that guy was just dead set on the fact that he can't do it. But that's because he has limitations. And I'm hoping that I see him today so that I can show him my wonderful photo. And he might say, well, me could I do that too? Yeah, but you did. Because you chose to use that word impossible. So yeah, I'm hoping that I see him so that I can show him. Because I think sometimes we use that word, oh, I can't. And I'll try. And impossible. And all you're doing is quitting before even trying. All you're doing is ooh, ooh, dance, 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 dance. Ooh, 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 ooh. Sorry. What you're doing is quitting before even trying. Like, before you even take a step, you're already telling yourself, oh, I can't. Oh, I can't walk. Oh, it's raining outside. Oh, I can't make that. Everything is possible. All he had to do really was go to his chat GPT, if he knows who chat GPT is, and say, hey, how can I make a virgin version of this? Since he had no creative sense, right? Because that's the thing. I realized that creativity is there for everyone, but we just have to tap into it. Some people choose not to, and some people, in all fairness, I feel like some people just aren't quite there yet. So I hope that he does find his creative juices soon in his life so that he can thrive. Okay, so today's message was brought to you by Impossible. There is no such thing. So long as you have faith and you have will, you will. Look at all this seaweed. Oh, actually wash up, and it's still washing up because as you can see here, the water comes in. There's a lot of seaweed. And good morning. And the gentleman is there sweeping the beach so that, I think they call it combing, whatever. They're cleaning it up so that people will be able to have a great experience when they come. Because a lot of people give it, ew, ew, what's that? And it's like, it's seagrass. It's grass from the sea. See, look, there's a lot. And what he does, so basically he keeps it down here, and then they have a little tractor that comes and pick it all up. Yeah, this is beach life. This is my life. If I could do this every day, yesterday, on the first day, I said to myself, if I was able to do this every day, I would be so fit. My legs would be legging every day. Ah! Back to the sun. What time is it? It's 2:43, and I told everyone to meet in the lobby at 7 o'clock so we can set off for our tour, like Gilligan's Island. I think that's what some people were thinking yesterday, like, we're not going to make it back. We're going to get eaten up here in these woods. Look how the sun glistens on the sand in the water. That's the other thing too. I guess overnight they might have been, because it's rainy season. It's like sometimes it storms out at sea, so the water, and as you can see, there is seaweed here also. It's just not as plenty as on the other side. And the water here is clearer and somewhat calmer than on the other side. Here is some seaweed here, but it's smaller than the bits on the other side. See here? Back to the sun. And everything is always back to the sun. Let me tell you something. If I could do this every day, if I could do that walk every day, because walking for me is therapy. It's a time for me to basically like just come outside and be with nature, and for nature to be with me, and to think, to explore, and to see, and to basically like be still and have time with God. And if I could do this every single day, like on a beach, not a beach in New York, a beach in the Caribbean, preferably in Jamaica, man, oh man. And especially like with the walk, like the walk up the hill, whew, I would be most happy. But I'm gonna take it in the little spurts that I'm getting it in, so that I can get accustomed to, so that I can get accustomed or warm up to what my life is going to be, because this will be my life one day. You see how high the water is coming up? This is the first morning that I see that it went all the way up there. Usually it comes like right about here. And yesterday, when we were in the grill, some of the workers were actually digging trenches in the sand, I guess to prevent the erosion. But guess what? Can't stop nature. Can't stop nature. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this. If you made it all the way to the end, I thank you. Thank you very much for liking the sound of my voice, and for appreciating the slash weird slash blissful Antonia. Thank you. And if you have not subscribed to my channel as yet, I kindly ask that you please subscribe, like, and comment below if you appreciate the sunrise as much as I do, and how you feel about that word impossible. Okay? So I will catch you in the next video. Please have a great day. Live on purpose. Remember that you are chosen. You were chosen for a reason. Have a great day.